country is this very expensive, secretive, and satanic energy purchase agreement. Used to work for the then Electricity Regulatory Board, which now transformed to the Energy Regulatory Commission, and now which is called IPRA. And this problem has been there. The issue of cost of power in this country. The cost of power, one of the factors that contribute to high cost of power in this country is this very expensive, secretive, and satanic energy purchase agreement between the Kenya government and some independent power producers. This bill, Mr. Speaker, will help us unlock the problem that has existed in this country for many years. For many years. So this bill will ensure that the so-called independent power producers who engage in this purchase agreement are known. So Senator Sifuna is seeking to resolve the problem of disclosure. We must know who these companies are, what are the faces behind these companies, what are the interests, what are the agreements saying. It is not right that a government institution, Mr. Speaker, can enter into agreements with the individuals or private institutions without the knowledge of the people of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, maybe this problem really highlights the main problem we have in this country. The main problem of disclosure of material facts in agreements of this nature. And I want to say that maybe we need to amend this to ensure that all these agreements are subjected to parliamentary approval. So I want to encourage Senator Sifuna to maybe look at the amendments and improve them further, to require that these agreements, because they affect our economy in a large way, must be looked at by Parliament so that the public interest is protected. Mr. Speaker, as I said, the amendment is going to give us disclosure of ownership information. Who are the owners of these entities, and how much are they drawing from the people of Kenya for their personal interest, and what is the cost at which they are selling electricity to our public institution, particularly KenGen. So I think it is very timely, and I want to encourage members, particularly on the aspect of disclosure, to support this bill. Mr. Speaker, without disclosure, then, as it has been stated in the memorandum of the bill, then we are not sure what this money is doing. Whether this money is being used for money laundering, whether this money is part of tax evasion schemes or corruption. So disclosure will help us deal with all the social issues around the non-disclosure of these agreements. Mr. Speaker, I don't know why it is so difficult for the government to provide information on some of these things. We struggled with SGR up to now. We do not have clear information on some of the contracts of SGR. Mr. Speaker, we are now struggling we have struggled with these independent power producers, and even now, the biggest debate in this country is about Adani matter, which I can see the chairman of Roads and Transport is smiling. He has done a good job, and he's also my member of CPIC, to try and deal with the problem. Mr. Speaker, I think it's high time that we demand that all such major agreements, particularly between government and private investors or individuals, must be disclosed to Parliament and must be processed in this House, Mr. Speaker, because they affect our people, and we exist in this Parliament because we represent the people under Article 1 of the Constitution, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the other important issue which I want to agree with the mover of this bill is the matter of ensuring that these agreements are aligned or comply to the principles of public finance management.
Welcome back to Mora TV. So basically that's the senator who has just talked about something very important, because we are in the middle of something which is going on in Kenya, and it's Adani Kentraco deal, Adani JKI deal, and a lot of undisclosed things. So basically the senators were discussing amendment bill of energy regulatory system, and it's of 2023. So this thing, they were trying to amend it so that it can come into clear view of what is really happening behind the doors. First of all, they started that there is a general opaque in listing of power supply companies in the country. For example, even they went ahead to say that some companies which are supplying power at a cheaper option are not being given an opportunity, rather they are being opaque and put behind, but those with expensive deals are given a chance. So there is another thing which they said about the non-disclosure of these people who are given this deal. You find somebody, they're given even a foreign country a deal. So the senator said that this thing is satanic, barbaric, and even it's a vice which is killing the country at the moment. If you look closely, then Kenyans are being denied some benefits in terms of enjoying the power production and power supply. You find a lot of Kenyan companies which are coming up, producing power, are not given the opportunity to supply power. But in the real sense, other richer companies which are even producing power using diesel are given the opportunity. But other companies which are providing cleaner power aren't getting a chance. For example, they said about the Electrocana windmill technology, and it was a company which was providing power to the Kenyan grid. So that's some of the things which the senators are discussing. But the most important thing they have talked is that there is no disclosure, and Kenyans are missing the information which they're supposed to get. Kenyans are not getting to know who are these people supplying Kenya power with their electricity. Kenyans are not getting the chance to be aware of things which are happening around in terms of the power prices, the rationing, and other things. They only find things like the power went up. They have just been paying the bills. So, and there is a rumor also spreading around that Kentraco has given Adani a 94 billion deal to supply energy or to build a national grid. 94 billion deal, which, but they say that the period is for 30 years. Why? So they have decided to move away from JKI to give Adani this deal. But there were rumors that Adani assets had been frozen in Switzerland. So there's a lot of things which is happening in the country which are not coming out very clear. Make sure you comment what you think about this story.